king of the demons, Kala Ludra, frolics with his foot soldiers, gleeful at the prospect of destroying the world. In Bali, the art of the wayang puppet masters imitates a terrible true-life event. It's a way of easing the trauma, reassuring children at school and in the villages that there is evil and good in everyone, and good can triumph.
In the wayang, I try to use the very traditional story, but I combine with situation right now. A kid, they confused because the parent die, and somebody's come in the story and try to explain to him. Don't be sad, because they explain about a life. This life actually born, grow, die. All people will be die.
Holy water to bless the faithful, to drive away the demons, to restore the cosmic order. In times of trouble, it's to the high priest the Balinese traditionally turn. Part healer, part spiritual guide, the one who sees and strives to explain the big picture.
Maka Bali pun menganggap bahwa itu juga sama dengan karma itu, gitu. Karena bom ini bukan terjadi di Bali saja, terjadi di seluruh dunia. Kita lihat, maka ini karma manusia seluruh dunia.
Kebetulan malam itu cuacanya terang bulan.
If bad karma is the undoing of Bali, then perhaps this is what's behind it. The names are familiar enough: Kuta, Sanur, Nusa Dua, a seemingly endless sprawl down the coast of what's invariably described as this tropical paradise.
Aku terbangun, rupanya hari pun sudah pagi.
As you know, the occupancy rates are low throughout the island.
Sudabia Bagus knows success, at least in this material world. 3 upmarket resorts, attracting tourism's top-enders.
Hatiku gembira.
But long before Bombali, Bagus warned of his island's over-dependence on tourism.
Hatiku gembira.
Tourism is still very good sources for us. Tourism is still bringing us a very good opportunity, but we cannot only live on tourism. Actually, we should not go back, but we have to find what is the best way now to do in agriculture.
To prove his commitment, Bagus has become a farmer himself, or at least a farm manager with big dreams.
Ya, yang terberat kudu biasanya dia bisa dapat.
This 3-hectare plot on Bali's north coast yields enough vegetables, flowers and fruit to make his own hotels self-sufficient. And the benefit of a shift back to agriculture would not be purely economic.
They are becoming more and more, let's say, like people who consume a lot of things. So therefore, I think this is a sign from the God also that we have to think back into the originality of the style of life.
Nobody wants to be a farmer.
But now people are talking about the
But
need
also
to.
not only that, but the land is no longer belongs to the Balinese. They already sold the land.
Degung Santakama is a Balinese maverick, an intellectual who became a magazine editor so he could argue against the stereotypes, like his people's deep affinity with agriculture.
It's a sweet talk. It's like urban romanticism. Yeah.
To go back to the land.
Of course, they're just like Western romanticism, to see the everything green, agrarian green paradise like that. But the land is no longer belong to the Balinese. You have to remember that.
Each year, some 1,000 hectares of this tiny island's farmland is bought by developers. Many are Javanese, turning the emerald rice terraces into hotels and golf courses, diverting precious water into swimming pools. And while tourism makes money for Bali, it was also Western tourists who made it a target for the bombers.
One shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
19-year-old Ilu is having a night out, just 1 kilometre from where her father, a taxi driver, perished outside the Sari nightclub. Patrons are few, but they've come together tonight to launch a foundation for the widows and children of those who died.
Sekarang masih bingung, sedih, gimana ya kehilangan bapak, gimana kan kayaknya nggak percaya, masih nggak percaya kalau bapak itu udah nggak ada gitu.
On the Kuta strip, amidst the thumping bars and restaurants, a makeshift memorial is all that remains of Paddy's bar and the Sari Club. Behind the bright lights, the Balinese mourn their dead. 25-year-old Leniasi and her 2 young children must now fend for themselves, sharing this tiny rented room. Her beloved husband, Kadek, was the sole breadwinner, a bartender who was literally blown apart by the Sari Club blast.
Suami saya tuh ketemu di rumah sakit Sangla dengan bantuan orang pintar. Akhirnya suami saya ketemu dengan tanpa kepala, tanpa tangan. Terus ini badannya sampai kaki masih utuh, terbakar, angus.
Dia hanya mau lihat ini aja, mau masukin TV kan, dia TV Australia.
In their pain, Leniasi and the other widows meet regularly to share memories, offer support, and, in a very un-Balinese way, take the talking cure with one of Bali's few psychiatrists.
Sekarang ngomong yang ke depan ya. Ke depan apa cita-citanya?
Pengen kawin lagi kayak gitu.
Initially, the widows, the direct bomb victims, and local people really had trouble laughing about anything. And that's a very Balinese thing, to be able to laugh about terrible things. So now when people can laugh, it's a sign of health.
Sisa Dejesus is a nurse with the aid group IMC, providing both counselling and medical support to the widows. 1/3 are clinically depressed, she says. Then there are the children. Dozens of them, many deeply traumatised by the loss of their fathers and the distress of their mothers. Some withdraw, others become uncontrollable. All suffer in their own way. Post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety and panic attacks, these are very Western diagnoses. Do the Balinese conform to these diagnoses?
Frequently what happens is a Balinese will go and do the traditionally required ritual to try and heal the problem. Perhaps they're experiencing PTSD or depression or anxiety, and it needs to be treated medically, so that we don't ignore the cultural aspects of it. In fact, we try and incorporate it into how we treat them.
The shockwaves of Bali stretch beyond the immediate victims in the city, out to the villages, where thousands of young Balinese sit idle and angry, sent home when their jobs disappeared.
I used to be a tour guide.
For how long did you have that job?
I was there for 2 years.
And they just fired you?
Yes, fired.
They were bartenders, pool attendants, gardeners. Now they're jobless and broke, and crime is on the increase.
Because getting a lot of no job, a lot of jobless, could be a security no good anymore, like steal something, people steal something from home, like a piglet or something from home.
That's happening.
That's happening. That's a reality.
How far do the shockwaves run? To the very bottom of society. These scavengers at Ubud once earned a living culling beer and whiskey bottles from the tourists' garbage. Now, even that is denied them. They are Muslims and migrants in an overwhelmingly Hindu province. They have nowhere to turn.
Tidak ada, cuma ini aja. Inilah pekerjaan terakhir bagi kita. Soalnya untuk bekerja lain membutuhkan modal yang sangat besar.
And the waves push not just deep, but wide. Each village feels the loss. The farmers who supplied the hotels with meat and vegetables. The makers of handicrafts. The weavers and painters. And in this quiet time, there's a growing feeling that visitors have never truly known the place anyway. Its violent history, its struggle for independence. As for the people, perhaps they became what the tourists wanted. Human postcards.
That's what Bali all about. Yeah, it's really smile, and you train to smile. If you look at the tourism campaign in Bali, they call them Sept persona, 7 charm. So every Balinese has to master that. You have to smile, you have to be friendly, you have to be neat, you have to be clean, you have to be memorable. Become ambassador of your own culture. That's what, as a result of tourism, that's what Balinese do.
Bali is a place which accepts, even values, the unexplained. Like the white herons of Petulu, which have landed in the same place each evening for close to 40 years. No one asks why. It is, they say, a blessing from the gods. Leniasi has no explanation for her daughter, Rika, when she calls at night for her father. But this is what the young widow tells herself.
Saya pasrah aja sama yang di atas. Saya akan berusaha keras untuk biaya hidup anak-anak saya dan memberikan perhatian kasih sayang pada anak-anak saya. Saya berusaha keras dan saya selalu berdoa sama yang di atas. Itu aja.
And Sisa, the professional nurse, what does she tell the little ones? What is the rational explanation for what happened on October 12?
And this little girl is very open, and she comes to the office and she says to me, I miss my mommy. And where is my mommy? She's very aware that there's a loss in her life, and she doesn't yet know how to fill it.
What's her name?
Her name's Dinda.
Is that her, the little girl in the pink dress?
That's her.
And what do you say to her?
I say, I imagine you do miss your mommy. What else can you say?
As Bali's shadow puppeteers tell the story, the demons have destroyed the forest with anger and uncontrolled emotions. A mother deer turns to save its starving young. The moral for the Balinese is that with love and compassion, they can survive the greatest of adversity.